I'm just thinking of the next topic, drunk stories. I don't know where to start. I have a lot of violent drunk stories as well.
Yeah, I think we want some comical ones.
I know. I don't know why, it's just the violent ones coming to mind first. Did I tell you about the time? I think I did. Told you I was like stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've told you quite a few actually now I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to think of the funny ones though. I think there's some funny ones.
How about the one from the Philippines proposing to... Oh, no, we talked about that one already, didn't we? The karaoke night we did on my last night. I didn't take the camera. And you just captured all this.
Now that I'm thinking about that night, well, why didn't you bring your camera? You were right there. We weren't that far from your accommodation. It's very unlike you to not bring it, even if it's a drunken thing. Like, I want my camera with me at all times. I felt
fresh not taking it. I felt like cause I've always got it on me, and I just felt being free from it, not having to worry about it or capturing a shot. I was just like completely like just woken up that morning.
Yes, I'm like you also, but sometimes I'm like, when I'm out and I don't have my camera, I'm like, fuck, I wish I had my camera. So I always make sure I got it just in case.
I don't know. I think my intent on that night was just to have like a drink and some food and then go back or something. I didn't intend on staying out. And
you weren't expecting that one.
No, it just completely threw me. So I'm glad you had the camera.
I knew a few beers sets the tone right away.
Yeah, a few beers and I'm anyone's, aren't
I mean, I'm exactly the same. A few beers and I'm in a party mood. I always am in the Philippines. I love drinking in the Philippines. I still haven't had a drink since New Year's, by the way.
That's mad, eh?
New Year's Eve. Because the thing is, if I could drink right now if I wanted to. It's not that, I've given up drinking entirely. Unless I'm going out to have a good night, no reason to have a drink.
I think for me, when the weather starts getting warmer and the sun's coming out and it's just, because we don't get that much nice weather, especially over winter. So when we do get it, it feels like a holiday vibe. So you want to kind of go out in the garden, sit there with a beer, and it kind of wants you to, it gets you in that sort of mood. Barbecue weather, it's like, oh yeah, awesome. And if you live like every single day, I suppose you do get kind of used to it.
Yeah, and I feel like as someone who's been heavily drinking since a teen, it was only a matter of time before I got to this point where I'm just not going to drink at all. I don't think you understand how much of a pisshead I was back home. Like I had to, if I didn't move, I would have been so bad right now.
Oh, really?
I would have been a fucking mess.
But you're glad you moved?
Oh, it's partly why I moved. I need to change. But drunken stories.
Yes.
Do you have any you'd like to share with us, Dan?
I have a few. But I'll just share the one. It's probably one of the worst times.
That you've been on the piss?
Well, worst hangovers too. Oh, it was awful.
Oh, can't wait.
Oh, picture this. You're on holiday on this beautiful little island in Greece.
Beautiful.
We booked onto this Greek night, so we were being picked up from the hotel in this beautiful coach, taken off to the mountains.
Who's we?
Stops me and the ex-girlfriend.
Oh, plot twist.
Yeah, plot twist. So we get taken up, and also other people on the tour. We get taken up to this this mountain where we watch the sunset on the horizon. It's beautiful. And then we get taken around a little bit further. Bearing in mind, this is like a windy mountain. The roads are quite narrow. How a coach got around there, I don't know. We get to this place, beautiful restaurant, and it was an all-inclusive experience. So you have all these tables, like a wedding, effectively. You had all these tables laid out with an unlimited amount of wine. White wine or red wine. Come in massive jugs, and I was like, okay. Now, prior to this event, I'd learned don't mix your drinks, which is a term I heard so much through my youth years. And there was one occasion where I did mix them a bit too much. Wasn't a great night. And then, so from that day on, I was like, right, don't mix my drinks. So fast forward back to this night again. The reason why I mixed my drinks prior to that, by the way, was it was red wine, white wine, God knows what. It wasn't good. The red wine... No. So back at this Greek night, I'm seeing these jugs of wine, and the nearest one happens to be red, and I thought, right now, last time, because I'm normally a white wine drinker if I drink wine, normally sparkling wine, but anyway, if I'm going to drink wine, I'm going to just stick to the one. Now, the red one was closer, and I thought, if I start on that, I kind of have to finish with that. So I committed. Save me having to wander down this long table to go and get the white one. So I'm pouring away, and the meal gets brought to you. You get your starters, your mains, and your desserts. All great. The wine's flowing. We're having a great time. The Greek dancers are doing like a traditional Greek dance. You know, it's all music is great. Great evening. Got chatting to this couple next to me. Actually, it wasn't a couple. Two girls. Quite easy on the eye. A little bit older than I was, but we all got on great. They were from the north of where I live, so it's kind of funny making fun of the accents. It was all, good, happy vibes. By the end of the Greek night, I couldn't even tell you how much wine I drank. It must have been an enormous amount.
Bloody hell.
I'm sat on this coach now. Now I'm in the passenger side, the inside of the coach, so I'm on the aisle side, so I can't see out the window. It's dark anyway. Now, as I said earlier, on a mountain, the roads are a bit windy, and the bus driver wasn't that slow. I'm starting to feel it. Right, so I'm sat in the aisle seat. My ex-girlfriend was by the window. In the opposite side of the coach were these two girls that we'd met. You meet these new people. You don't look like a lightweight or embarrass yourself in front of new people. So you're kind of like trying to hold it and contain yourself. And I'm there thinking, oh, I don't feel so good. What can I do? Try and close my eyes. Nope, that's not helping. Look outside. It's dark. I can't see anything. And the coach is there like this, braking and accelerating and going around corners. And I'm thinking, yeah, I need to go and sort something out. Meanwhile, I'm also desperate for a piss. I'm thinking, this could be a good time to take a piss. And if I feel sick, also let it up in the same time. Two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Everything's great. I looked a little further down the coach, and I can see the stairs going down. I think, great, I'll just climb my way over to there, get down these steps, shut the door, and everything will be fine. So I did. I crawled down to these stairs, not on the floor, it's my microphone stand. So I wasn't just on the floor crawling, but headrest to headrest, get down these stairs somehow without flinging myself out of the emergency exit door. Put myself in this room, and I couldn't find the lock. So and the door kept swinging open a little bit, so I had to keep holding on to that. So I'm like one arm pirate or something, and I whip out me.
Yes, Dan. Yes.
So I was trying to find some comic word then, but nothing came to mind. And there I am, like this, also drunk, going around all these corners, trying to take a straight piss, right? And I have no idea where it's going. So, there's no light in the bathroom either, which I thought was weird. So I'm just literally flying blind here. Hope for the best. And while this was happening, I was like, I know I'm aiming down, but it feels like I'm pissing on my shoulder. I realised there was a mop hanging in this room that must have been obviously wet or something, and it's just brushing my shoulder, and I was like, oh, that's horrible. Now I'm there doing this, trying to see what I'm doing, trying to hold myself against the window so I'm not going around flying myself around this whole room, and the door's still flapping about, so I'm exposing myself to God knows who.
Multitasking.
And as it turns out, as well as vomiting all down myself, I was also not in a toilet. I was in a cleaning cupboard, hence the mop. I'm pissing into what I think was the mop bucket. Probably pee all over the floor, all over the walls. I got red wine, bearing in mind, red wine vomit down my shirt. It was brand new. I'd ruined my shirt. And because I had the mop dripping on me and God knows what all over me in sweat because it was warm, I'm a bit sticky around the leg area because of the heat and stuff. So I'm trying to pull my shorts up, and you know what it's like when you try and pull wet clothing up, it just sticks to your leg, and I just couldn't get it over me. And my ex-girlfriend comes down the steps, mortified. She's like, come on, we gotta go. So I'm there trying to wrap everything up, and I swear to God, I have no idea. I tried my best to pull up my shorts, but I have no idea whether I was hanging out of my shorts or not.
Oh my God.
I was praying to God my shirt was covering my bits, because otherwise I'm on show. Not only was I thinking I was going to be pulled out of this toilets, which weren't toilets, to be put back on the coach, but in fact, we were being kicked off the coach.
What?
So I had to walk down this whole aisle full of people, potentially with my knob hanging out.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it was awful. And the coach driver said he'd come, drop everyone off, come back and pick me up, and we'd get taken back to our hotel. In fairness, he did. But I don't remember much else from that night.
Oh my God. Can't
I
take
woke
you
up the
anywhere, Dad.
I woke up the next day, looked at my shirt, and I was like, oh, God, there was red stains all over the shirt.
Oh God.
Shorts were being chucked to one side of the room. Oh, my
Did
God.
you have
And
any
then,
recollection of that prior, or did you kind of just have to figure out what happened? Or you remember the whole thing?
pretty much as I described it, it's kind of how much I remember it.
Okay. I was just
There wasn't much
wondering.
piecing together.
Because
The
usually
two girls,
if something like that happens to me, there's a huge part of it I just don't remember if I'm
I
that
kind of
bad.
wish that was.
And then I just figure out by looking at myself the following day, okay, this must have been what happened.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I also had no recollection and no potential piece puzzling. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I do remember a lot of it. Apart from after I got off the coach, maybe the fresh air hit me and I'd forgotten a lot. I don't know. I think if I get a bit tired as well, my brain loses its short-term memory, so I don't remember much. Sadly, maybe I've retold that story that many times that it's now just ingrained in there forever. And then to make it worse, apart from feeling like I wanted to die, just out of embarrassment more than anything, the two girls, by the way, stayed on the coach. I never spoke to them again. We went on a different tour like a few days later for this island hop thing, and we got picked up by a coach, and it was the same coach driver.
Oh, God.
And he said to me, "Are you feeling okay today?" And I went, "Yes."
Oh, Dan. Dan, Mr. Nice Guy. In a state. I feel like I've kind of seen you close to that sort of state in the Philippines. Like, if we had stayed much longer, we just kept drinking, because I could have kept drinking a few more buckets at least. But I feel like
it depends as well.
I feel like if you were to carry on, might have seen a glimpse of that, Dan. Not gonna lie. Because you were definitely on one.
I blame the mountainous roads for that story. And the lack of a toilet.
That's hilarious.
I think it depends what I drink as well, because sometimes if I drank I drank 2 bottles of Carver, and the next day I was hungover. I was pretty bad. I don't think I was sick that much, but I was pretty much bedridden until like 4 or 5 p.m. That's just 2 bottles of wine effectively, but I think wine affects me more. Oh my God.
Yeah,
the
me too.
Vodka story. So do you ever do that thing where before you go out on a night out, you have like pre-drinks at your mates?
Yeah. Still do that shit now.
just making sure that wasn't like just a thing that we did. Okay. So
That's always
I'm at
the
my
thing.
friend's house, and he gave me a pint glass and filled it half with vodka and half with like a Red Bull or something. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go, and drank all that. And then he gave me another one of the same, so another half a pint of vodka and an energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
And to go into his house, you've got to take your shoes off, right? So the
I hate
taxi's
those
called
houses.
now.
I hate those
Yeah, I thought
houses.
those guys. So we're about to leave for this night out, and the taxi comes. So we go downstairs, and I can barely put my shoes on. I'm just like falling all over the place.
Oh, God.
Was fucking shit-faced.
Fuck's sakes, Dan.
I barely made the taxi ride. I got to where we wanted to go, and they wouldn't let me in the club. I was trying to count my money, trying to get into the club, and I was there like with my change and all over the floor, like trying to find where my money all went.
I've kicked people like you out of clubs, Dan.
My mate just put me back in the taxi and sent me home. So my night out was basically pre-drinks. And as I was walking, for some reason, I don't know why this was the case, because I wasn't really aware what was going on. The taxi dropped me off in the next road to where I actually lived. It might be a safety thing, actually, like from a mate's point of view. I don't know, but I had to walk around the corner and then like to my mum's. And all I can remember is texting my friend to say that I got home. And I just had like in my peripherals, I saw the ground getting closer, and then I realized I was on the floor. I just collapsed. And then I managed to scramble up. I got to my mum's house. I'm knocking on the door, and all my mum said to me, like, all she saw when she opened the door was me on the floor against the door. My phone, which I dropped under the camper van, luckily not smashed, unlike me. And they pulled me in, and this is like probably not even 11 o'clock at night. I was pretty wasted. I was awful.